There's Brandon Silver behind the camera calling us live. This is 3 up, 3 down. Brandon, you posted a link inside this picture. You did.
That is his job. Your job is to silence the filter when the show starts. So it's the Hampton Pirates upset alert over in Kentucky.
We're 3 up, 3 down. This is the commissioner. This is Mr. Johnson, and joining us is Matt Webber.
I don't have a head. I don't have a headband.
Oh, you.
It's finally a night to strike back at Matt. Like, it's wide open.
We got that Kearsten Lewis with us. So we got Kearsten Lewis. Would you explain that introduction first? The number of situations recently, just the past weekend, won the third consecutive WA Raptor championship. I believe it's the Wilson. 4-time Atlas champion winner, former champion and several other national tournaments. Yeah. You know how many years separated football. Football is good. You know the qualifier. You got a lot of championships.
More than
hey, you know, yeah, you have 4 Wentworth trophies. That's almost as much as I got. So, it is an honor. Happy to be co-captain of the Freedom's last
I feel really insecure tonight with all this, so all I have are photographs and memories. But you're in my house.
Thank you for doing this.
I'm happy to have all of y'all here. I get a lot of visitors. My bathroom is up to par there.
Do you want to go there?
right now. But yeah, that's only because I'm right here.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with us, guys. Sorry.
No one can hear you saying that.
No, we can't.
Do you have to? Well, yeah, they can hear because maybe you have to install that shit on your computer. I don't know. You guys talk and see if we can get a mic check from the crowd. See how well it picks up from over there.
Mic check 1, 2.
Reunited, double LP, so excited. Struck a match to the underground, industry ignited.
Can any one of our 2 viewers confirm that was clear?
Please just flash the woo if you could hear me.
Okay, they can hear.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
wait, so we're back with the mic or?
No, it's picking up on Brandon's. I think we got to install something technical.
So we need to yell.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we're being picked up on that. Sorry, guys. Just pretend that didn't happen, and we have our stuff together. We brought on this new guy to help us, Brandon Silver. He's behind the microphone, and first thing he does is jack up the sound. So.
All you did was ruin everything.
That's what I do.
You're the Wade Rock of the podcast.
I'm the Buffalo Bills of the kickball league.
It'll only get better from here. So I guess we got
Careful with those promises. Thanks.
we're rehearsal out of the way. We can go ahead and start our introductions. This is 3 Up, 3 Down, the official podcast of the WAKA Virginia Peninsula division of the World Adult Kickball WAKA
Association.
And you turned your phone back on. Good, I'm glad we got
I am
that.
Matt Walbrock. This is Brent Wentworth, and that is George Johnson.
Hello.
Yes. Of course, this is not Matt Walbrock. Yeah, I don't know, some people might not know him. So I have to say that. But this is Kearsten Lewis, one of the most decorated kickballers in the entire world. Maybe
The most decorated at this table. We can all agree on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go through the resume. I already did it once without sound, but it'll be a pleasure to go through it again. Of
You might make
course,
him feel bad.
she most recently was a member of the Situation who won their 3rd consecutive VA Raptor championship this past weekend. She's a 4-time Wentworth Trophy winner with the Situation and Plan B. She's won countless VA Atlantic, VA Shore, VA Southside titles, probably some other VA WAKA leagues that I don't even know about. Yeah, she's won the Founders Cup. She's won several other national championships, including Kickball 365's largest tournament last year. Point blank, she just wins. She's amazing.
Well, thank you.
So it's a pleasure. And not only on top of all that, but now she's also co-captain of the VA Hustle, who plays in the Freedom League on Friday nights and travels to tournaments all over the country playing against men and women.
Do you officially call yourselves VA Hustle, or is it Virginia Hustle in long form?
VA Hustle.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I just call us Hustle.
Okay.
But it's VA Hustle, 2 up, 2 down.
Alright. So we're gonna she's filling in for Matt. Wish I could say it was big shoes to fill. So we're gonna talk about the VA Raptor tournament that just closed out this past weekend. Our overall impressions. We may not break down every game because we didn't watch every game, but we'll talk about it high level, and then we'll put Kearsten on the hot seat. Ask her some questions, grill her.
Yay.
All right, so let's run through it.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's.
All
right. We played each other in the first game.
Well, you want to start out with that?
Well, I mean, we're both here.
All right.
I mean, we can follow the Situation run to the title since they're at the top. They're all highlighted nicely. Let's throw a bone to the little guys first.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So those of us begging for scraps at the bottom.
Yeah, so the first game was between the 3 seed Shiver Me Timbers versus Truffle Shuffle. I tell you what, Big Jeff Schilt, he came out there to win a championship. That's what he said. Dude's balling, man.
He says a lot of things, though. So.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, that's true. But he was backing it up with his play. I mean, he really he had a great tournament in both games. He was just making some diving plays and some. I'll say I'm not easily impressed. That young man impressed me on Saturday.
I thought he played really well. I saw y'all team against each other, and I thought he was playing very well.
He made one catch against Beast Mode that was pretty ridiculous. His diving catch, just grab it. I think Rob got a good picture of it actually. He was screaming and yelling and making plays. He was like
Is the screaming and yelling new? I feel like I've seen that from him before.
but the making plays is
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He was like a young Kevin Garnett out there, just screaming and dominating. And speaking of dominating,
Like a late middle-aged Christian Leitner. Just to him, Jerry Stackhouse, come at me, bro.
he needs a little bit more ink.
More hair, too.
Yeah, and he really set the tone for the Shiver Me Timbers, and we put up a dozen runs on the Truffle Shuffle team that I think.
Most of them luck.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's fair to say Truffle Shuffle underperformed a little bit. I had higher expectations.
I'm not gonna talk trash about anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
So I have a
trash.
little class here. Finally,
That was a
balance you
compliment. That
out.
was a compliment. I was saying you underperformed.
That is not a
because-
compliment.
Underperformed only
You've been going to
because.
the Brian Moore School of Compliments. So I'm going first to third, and I've noticed that you look pretty good there on the mound.
You looked almost as fast as I do. No, I mean underperformed in that I look across that roster and across the field at the sidelines. I see there are a lot of good kickball players there, and I wasn't expecting it to be.
Well, when Kearsten was sitting there watching, there were a lot of good kickball players on the sideline, but I think the picture of the tournament is me gracefully sliding into home.
Yes.
Was that the sequence picture of you rolling?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a lot of that on.
Well, I was gonna say it was less than ideal conditions too.
Yeah.
So
The
if
first-
they underperformed, the weather may have had something to do.
Yeah, that's weather.
Well, I thought the
She
11:30
said.
games actually had great weather. Like the 11:30 games.
Yeah, the sun actually came out for a minute too.
Yeah, it was nice, and I thought, this is going to be a good day for kickball, and I made the right call. I mean, there was really no call to make. We had to get it in, so I didn't have a choice unless if it was so bad, then it would have been canceled. But it was looking good at first, and then it started.
And then the day went on.
God, it got worse and worse. And then, but it was kind of cool. Everyone, as miserable as it was physically, I think attitude-wise, everyone was pretty positive about it. And you got to see a lot of people doing like you did with the sliding into home.
A lot of people sliding that didn't have to.
Completely
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yes.
Kim did the same thing in our game. Kim Cooper. Will did the same thing in our game. Just really a lot, and then I saw it throughout. Even reffing the finals,
Everybody was going
3 or
head
4
first
hours.
at first. Yes.
Curtis really got it.
JV did it after him
Yeah.
on a no throw.
More of a
Yeah.
flopping, but practice makes perfect.
I guess we'll talk Beast Mode versus Purple Rain.
Oh
Woo!
yeah.
That was a good game, man.
Yeah.
Purple Rain had them.
Eric Stevens was on. And anytime you let him square up and he doesn't have to make a spin throw, you're in trouble.
Yeah, he's one of those players that he's been around a long time. Probably 10 years at least.
Yeah, he's
12 years maybe.
He's been around longer than I have.
Yeah.
I think 2 years longer than I have.
And
That would be a good time for about the 7th thread about who's been playing longer. So someone did that started for me.
I like to see those just going on in private messages now. But he was, he's been playing forever, and sometimes you forget that he was at one point one of the best catchers in the country. And he was the top draft pick in the Patriot League the first time we did it, like 2-3 years ago, he was the #1 pick. And yeah, he's, as far as his status, I think he's been overshadowed by a lot of catchers who get, caught up to his level, but he still has those moments where it's like, damn, this guy is good. And he was good for Purple Rain on Saturday. And I really thought the beast mode was going to get eliminated, and it was coming down to the wire. But it was just a case where, the margin of error is so small, and Purple Rain made a couple of critical mistakes throughout that game that they just, against a team like beast mode, they're going to take advantage of that every time. I think there was one play that gave up a run where it should have been an easy out, and the first baseman kind of casually missed the bag, and that allowed a run to score, and then another miscue in the outfield at the end that allowed the walk-off. Brandon, it was you that kicked that, right?
Yes, sir.
On a scale of 1 to crapping diamonds, how'd you feel in the top of the fifth?
Pretty much crapping diamonds.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was a good strike, man. You got a hold of it. It hung up there just a little bit too much, and Steven came running in. And he got a good angle on it, but I guess the combination of just him being
Too much
His
chest
momentum, the wetness, all of it.
Yeah, the conditions,
Yeah.
his momentum, he just couldn't quite hold on to with the ball at the ground, and that was certainly a good test. Purple Rain, I think, and I don't want to dominate this whole thing.
Yes, you can.
I didn't see everything. We just watched the end of that game. So
But my thoughts on Purple Rain in general are that, I feel like, maybe some of the players on their team thought I overranked them. I mean, it's pretty clear to see scheduling-wise who I rank higher than others because they get Purple Rain had 2 games against Beast Mode. Let me schedule. I don't know if they all got played. 2 games against Situation, 2 games against Bun Cheeks. Like, those were the ones they had their double shots, and then 1 game against everyone
they
else.
should though. They're a good team.
Yeah,
They have the right components. They just have to put it all together, and they started to, obviously. So
but they hung with all those teams.
Exactly.
Like, I think they even hung with you guys when for a little while, and the wheels fell off late in the game when you guys played them. But in this one, obviously, Beast Mode, it's fair. They had their A game going to that. Saturday, they made it to the finals and brought it to 9 innings against the 2-time defending champions. I mean, they came within inches of winning. Purple Rain almost knocked them out right in that quarterfinal game. That was a good game, and something they should be proud of, I think.
absolutely.
Moral victories.
Wow.
That's all.
Yeah.
No follow-up.
The other
Continue.
Bun Cheeks eliminated by Felicia 9-2.
I didn't know what Bye Felicia was.
That's the
Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You're so stingy.
That's like a 20-year reference.
Well, this league was let's see, we have a Prince song reference, we have the Goonies reference, Pirates, that's about 2 centuries old at least. Well, okay, they're making a comeback.
Yeah.
And the Situation, I guess, being the most modern cultural reference on there, and that's still about 10 years
Yeah,
in the past now.
it was relevant at one point in time.
Because the Pirates come back. I'm the captain now.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Phillips.
Wow.
Yeah, you're
Good
right.
one, Brent.
I guess these are pretty dated references, except for Snowbreeze and Icicles.
Just the best name on that list.
Is that a reference to anything other than ovaries and testicles?
Yeah, that's been around for thousands of years at least.
Well, which do you think came first, butt cheeks or snowbreeze and well, I guess it'd have to be the reproductive organ. Why do you think they develop butt cheeks? I mean, I know they're hairless on some apes when they sit on it, but these are serious questions.
They're not hairless on this ape.
Well,
Okay, next topic. What's the next game?
my favorite name was Butt Cheeks. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I like Bun Cheeks too. They went easily. I don't know anything about this game. I really didn't get a chance. I was playing at the time. We were playing at the time. So.
What color is By Felicia?
Pink.
By Felicia had chances. They scored early. I think they scored their 2 in the top of the first.
Yeah.
And they had some chances and just couldn't. Unfortunately, they had some pretty bad overthrows that led to extra runners and runs.
I think if No Shoes would have been in town, it would have helped. Obviously he's got a lot of experience.
Wasn't there?
No, he was out of town or something like that.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of good athletes that were playing on that team.
Yes.
I mean, when we played them in the regular season, we had some pretty close games with them. Fun Cheeks, they're good too. Obviously, Shaw, Manny, Les, all of them. Let's go. So your first round game situation: 14 Snow Breeze and Icicles 0.
That's my highlight.
I can say the bottom of the
You guys
fifth.
got warmed up early.
Yeah, the bottom of the fifth, the couple of guys that bunted and got on, for them, laid down beautiful bunts.
So
There's the fourth that stopped early.
Oh, the
I
bottom of
was
the
gonna say, you
fourth,
guys made
sorry.
it to 5 innings. That's
No, apparently we
something to
didn't.
be said.
Sorry.
I do like the picture of Anthony that Brad posted on the Instagram. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
He was just feeling himself up while the guy from Snow Breeze.
Just Waddles.
No, Waddles was in the
Oh.
picture, but it was a different guy. Shoot, I don't know. I forgot his name. He was tagged in the photo too. You should do better than that. Yeah,
You do.
But I was more focused. I couldn't help it. It was just more focused on Anthony just feeling himself up.
My highlight for that game would be while I was umpiring third, Dom looking for with no outs in the top of the first and about a 4-0 lead and bases loaded. I think you were up to kick.
Mhm.
Dom looking for the suicide squeeze.
Uh-huh.
Yelling passionately to try and get the right call.
Yeah.
I said, Dom,
That's awesome.
what do you need to know about what's going to happen here? I don't know. Could be the suicide squeeze. Yeah,
Because we've ever pulled back. Because that's ever happened.
he was just ready to start sliding into home.
The guy who's making that catch. Miles.
He's got some nice
Scott
gloves.
Miller. That's who it was. Scott Miller. Yeah. So going on into the second round, you guys then, so you eliminated Snow Breeze and Icicles, then you matched up against the aforementioned Bunt Cheeks. Situation came out 6-0 winners on that one. How'd that game go?
Oh, was it 4-0? I
I
didn't
don't
know
know.
it was 6.
6 was the score I got. It could have been 4.
I thought it was only 4, to be honest. I think we dropped a couple in the first and then a couple in the fourth. I didn't know it was 6.
It might have been 4. This is the score that got told to me is Stillwater, so there's always some degree of margin of error there. It's Stillwater. I think it was 6-0.
I don't think that was the right score.
All right,
But
we'll go with 4.
it was a good game. A couple of things happened and we broke it open, but it's a good game. And they have a really big kicking lineup. I don't think they got through it.
Oh, really?
I think their top got on, but then the middle was kind of shut down, and I don't think they got through their entire lineup.
Well, I think you guys probably had a lot to do with that as far as you guys can make short lineups feel like they're long with a lot
Very
of 1,
true.
2, 3 innings.
Very, very true.
All
It was a good game.
Yeah. Then we go the semifinals on the other half of the bracket. We had Beast Mode over Shiver Me Timbers, 2-0. It was Beast Mode got those first 2 runs early, either the first or second inning. Brandon, I don't know.
I don't really recall. Sorry.
Our
the way I feel.
brains were frozen. 'Cause
Yeah.
At this point, it started to get kind of crappy out.
I was umpiring home, and I was like, "Oh, it's cool." Well, let me demonstrate this new life-proof case. I was like, "Yeah, I can do this in the rain." It's not a great idea. Buttons start getting pressed on their own, so I could have missed some outs and some strikes here and there. Some were recorded that maybe didn't happen. No one yelled at me, so
Yeah, I was live tweeting and stuff, and then once it started raining, I was like, I guess I can't do this anymore. I don't know who would actually care about it. I mean, Rob Cole was retweeting and favoriting stuff, but yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. And then the next stop, I was like, sorry guys, you just can't keep the phone out. I did forget to give a shout out to the Morehearts on Chivalry Timbers from previously. Keith had a huge bomb that drove in that really broke it open right in the beginning against you guys, and then his wife Tiffany followed it up the next inning with an RKI that really added on to it. But I hate to go back. Let's go ahead. Beast mode. They do what they do, man. It was good defense. Like, we just couldn't get anything going. I mean, the runs, they manufactured them. Yeah, we didn't. It was just a clean game given the conditions and everything. It was actually defensively a clean game. Neither team could get much going offensively. Yeah, it was a good game. I think it was, we didn't have too high of expectations. We were going out there to play hard and see what happens. We were hoping to make our way to the finals, but Beast Mode was just too good. Not that day.
It was a very well officiated game.
I agree. I definitely agree. Derek called me out on some bullshit, though. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea. That's what Josh told me later. He said, yeah, you were safe, but
You were not.
probably not.
Big
Oh,
Jeff
no,
said we
hey,
got both
next
the runs in the first.
What's that?
Big Jeff said we got both runs in the
That's
first.
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
thought.
pulled out his personal ERA book.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the personal ERA? Oh, that was Daniel Reyes. Referencing like a 4-year-old conversation.
Yeah, he mentioned some comment one time about his ERA.
And so we just brought it up every single week on here. Then they had forfeited a game. We counted that against his personal ERA.
Yeah, that 1 year with the 5 o'clockers, when the only loss that they had was a forfeit. So those 5 runs went against Daniel Reyes. So we go into the finals. Situation, Beast Mode, a rematch of the 2014 VA Raptor finals. That was a 1-0 game. This one, it topped it. I say, like, it was absolutely miserable. It was starting to get the sun hadn't been out in a couple of hours. It started raining even harder and colder. But I don't know, for me, as a sports fan, I liked being involved in it because it was just cool to see 2 teams playing hard through that adversity and just going back and forth. I thought it was cool, man. I liked it. It's a good game.
I think Matt could put it best when he said, it's nothing like watching the video of it and seeing the time progression of a pond showing up in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Because that is what happened. Like, when we started, you could see the ground, and by the time it was done, it was nothing but water.
I didn't realize it because when I was roughing home, but looking straight out, I mean, I could see there was a puddle forming, but it wasn't until after the game when I was picking up the bases where I was like, wow, this is ridiculous.
Yes,
Like,
ridiculous. Good word.
it became a lake out
Yes.
there, which Jeremy Edge dove into one
Second
time,
base,
scampering
yes.
back to second on the tag up.
Scampering.
Yeah, but it was what was the score after? I think it was 3-3.
3-3 after.
After 5, and just extra innings were just a chess match. It's one of those things with Kansas City. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm sure everyone does. If you're spending the time watching a kickball podcast, you're probably familiar with the concept of Kansas City rules, which is that in extra innings in WAKA, you cut down to defense only has 8 people in the field, 4 girls, 4 males, and the previous out from the prior inning, the last out from the prior inning starts at second base. So what you'll find is that, whatever adjustment you make defensively, the other team has an easy counter to it. So it just puts you in crazy situations where you just don't know what to do.
Yeah, because if it's a bunt and you throw it to 1, the runner's going to 3 automatically. I mean, and it's just, when do you concede a run and know that you're going to give one up, and when do you try to hold runners?
Yep. And the home team, that's where being the number 1 seed really has the advantage. Because you go into that bottom half knowing how many runs you need to get. And it's different strategy-wise, knowing that, okay, we only need to get 1 across and we win this game, or you need to get one across to survive.
Right.
So I had 2 across or 3 across. In this case,
I think it was one every inning
it was 1 every inning except for 7th or 8th. There
where
was
no
0.
one and no one scored on either side.
Yeah, crazy plays like that.
Oh, you mean like Ant not knowing that bases are loaded?
Yeah, they got a little.
Way to go, Ant!
Yeah, he was. It was kind of a bad spot from the beginning where the ball was right down third
But
base
he didn't
line.
even move.
He thought that if he stayed on base,
No, he didn't know bases were loaded.
that's what he said. He said he thought it was second and third. So
Oh, I love that they both sides started yelling and
Oh, yeah.
what is everyone yelling about?
Yeah.
I thought this was pretty. So he's out because he just stood there.
And she's out, but then they wanted the third out, but Ashley can't be out twice. And then it was, did he tag the base? It was
I
a
thought
whole
for
lot.
some reason I was thinking there was 1 out already. That was my confusion.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, 2 outs.
Yeah.
So, that's just crazy, man. But I think what inning was it where you were at bat? Because you
The
came.
sixth?
Oh.
Oh, it was to keep the game going.
Yeah, because that was one of those situations where you talk about that home team advantage. There was a couple runners on second and third.
They know it was third, and they walked AJ to get to me
So
for
it's
2 outs.
first and third, 2 outs. You're up there, and let's give a shout out to Jeff Morehart because he was dealing. Those were some good pitches.
Mm, call strikes at my knees.
Well, 1 foot from the bottom to the ground. Yeah, but there was one play that it was just that pitch came in there and it was so close. I don't know how you laid off of it. It was a ball. I've seen the video. I'm vindicated.
Brent sent
The
still
video,
praise.
shout out to Cutting Edge Media
Yes.
for the video. Appreciate it.
Rob deserves his own podcast.
He just sent me a text and said shout out.
Yeah,
Okay.
he deserves a shout out. I'm very appreciative of his videos, his photos. Just very talented. But I did, because that was the one I questioned because obviously Beast Mode wanted the strike, which would have ended the game because you already had 2 strikes on you.
Yeah, but I think it was 1 bounce.
It was.
And that's why I laid off.
It was 1 bounce, but it was.
No, it was a decent amount where I wouldn't have laid off because the one that I did
I'll
kick,
bring up the picture.
I'm going to say the one that I did kick
It was a 1
was
bounce.
1 bounce. And I went for it because
Yeah.
it was going to be too close. The
Right.
one that I did kick to kick in the run was 1 bounce also.
Yeah,
But I went for it.
If y'all knew when I didn't scroll through to this,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
probably never
Lord.
talk to us again.
I did screenshot it because I was like, wow, that one, because I was confident in my call. I was like, that was 1 bounce. I knew it. I was like, but I won't see it again because.
What are you going to do? Go back and call me out on it after?
No.
Just kidding.
I was going to just keep it to myself. If I made the wrong call.
Oh, no. See, that's next to the plate. I'm not going for that.
I know, I'm vindicated.
Yes, I'm not going for that.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
clearly saying, fuck this.
You watch it real time. It was pretty close. I got the right call though because
Well, I appreciate it.
I was the fall 2014 best ref in VA Peninsula. So of course I got it right. But then, so the point is like Jeff was bringing it.
Yes, he was. Definitely.
All your experience, all your composure came out. Made a clutch kick down hard on the ground,
Yes.
down third. Ricky was too deep in the hole to do anything with it. The run scampers in. Tie ball game. It goes on. So, and then in the end, what was the final? Gene, right? Was it kicked in the last one, or was it?
I think Jimmy kicked it in.
Jared,
I think Jimmy kicked it in.
Or was it Eric? Was it Beard?
No,
No.
I think it was Jimmy.
Jimmy, let's talk about Jimmy.
okay.
Because he came up huge.
Jimmy was bringing it too.
Holy shit, both you guys actually had bases loaded at one point with 0 or 1 outs and a chance to break it open in Kansas City. But what stands out in beast mode, and Brandon, we gave you props for a walk-off earlier. I don't rub it in, man. But yeah, beast mode with the
I'm gonna tear you back down.
So I got to, man.
Well, I mean, if you look at the most dangerous kickaway guys on that beast mode team, Frank Council's up there, but and then
Frank had a monster
Yeah, he
triple
bombed it.
yeah,
in that game.
Yeah.
Frank
It was a double.
stands. There were a lot of
But I
kickers
thought he
on
ended up
beast
on
mode.
3.
Did you get?
No. No.
He was second, maybe.
Yeah, because the runner stopped it. The runner, I rewatched it.
It wasn't bases loaded though, was it?
It was bases loaded,
Okay. All right.
and it was on the left-hand side, so the runner stopped, came like halfway from second to third. The third came in.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
because I remember
It was a bomb kick.
it was a Tecmo baseball, like single off the wall.
Thank God for that fence. Thank God for that fence.
Yeah, it was hard running across. It looked hard running through that puddle. But so Frank, obviously, he did his damage. But then you got Jeff Morehart and Brandon Silver. Yeah, I think two guys who are really known for consistently striking balls well. And man, you got bases loaded with those two dudes up. I was like, situation's in trouble. Jeff smokes one. Yeah, I said it, and I was
He
like,
texted me from home.
Nice.
I said, George, situation's in trouble.
I know, bro. That Japanese guy pushing a shopping cart.
What was that? A strike. Whatever. Wait, Jeff actually got a good kick. Like it was, a nice line drive. But Jimmy just was able to get his hands or his chest on it, keep it in front of him.
Looked like a Happy Gilmore block of it.
Get the out at home. Yeah. And then Brandon did the same thing right after him, like just screaming line drives that just that's one of the things, man. It's luck in a lot of ways. You got 8 people in the field,
And
and you
it's like
kick it
you can't
straight
find a
out.
hole.
You
Like, you
kick it
can't,
straight
even with
out.
8 people, you cannot find a hole.
Jimmy.
That's the story of Brandon's life.
Totally.
We used to go to some swingers parties together. 8 people in the field and he can't find a hole. My man struggles.
Struggle is real.
Go stand in the corner.
No, but isn't that what we're making him do now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like we're back in our swinging days,
That's
right?
right.
You're over there.
Usually I'm facing the corner though,
Okay. Well, recording the action this time.
but nobody puts baby in the corner.
All right. So, any other thoughts?
I'm trying to talk about the game. And I'll keep tossing it out in the left field.
I knew we different podcast. Any other thoughts about beast mode and the situation?
It was a long game. It was a good game.
Yeah,
It was a very good game.
9 innings total. Situation coming across. 13 runs were scored, 7-6 situation victory. Just
Well, I think it's like, even when the game started, we were tripping over balls and balls squirting through and that sort of thing. And you just go, it's going to happen. And it happened both ways because there were some things that were just out of your control. It was definitely a sloppy game all the way around.
I felt like extra innings.
Extra
it was
innings, I
pretty
think,
clean.
was much better than the actual game.
Yeah.
But everybody stayed in and battled hard in those conditions.
It had that big game feel to it too. Like despite the conditions, a good amount of people stayed and were watching. I saw all those butt cheeks and snow breeze guys were still hanging out, and it just really was cool kind of atmosphere. It's a perfect ending to winter league. Yeah, it just was like a really tough winter. And I always say it's straight. I mean, we have 8 teams every year. How does this keep turning on?
How do you not know how to silence your phone?
I've silenced it like 5 times. Anyways, just as many 5 times. But it was. I've always said winter league is for the hardcore, and it was pretty hardcore on.
I don't think I'll play another winter.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's what they all say.
I've said it every year,
Well, Brock
but I
said
feel
it
like
so
they've
much.
gotten progressively worse as well.
I thought last year was bad weather-wise. This year was worse.
Just from week 1 was sleet
Yeah.
in the freezing rain. So, and it just,
Usually, like a lot of times, if it's 50-50, I say, well, playing, and it usually works out in my favor. But every time this year, it was like, we're playing. It's like, shit. It sucks now. But we're all in a long process of forgetting about how miserable it was until next December when it's time to sign up.
And then we'll all be out there again going, didn't I say I wasn't going to do this again? I know I said that.
Yeah, in about 40 weeks from now, that'll be a distant memory, and we'll only remember the good times. Hey, remember that 9-inning epic classic in the rain?
Yeah, I don't think I'd bring
That
that up.
wasn't so bad. That was the tournament. Just a good time. We had a party later that night. Stillwater. Good. They treated us well all year. Yeah, LaSalle loved them. I know that. LaSalle told me like every week, he was like, "Man, I'm so glad that we're on a weekend league. I can come and hang out at the bar afterwards."
It makes a big difference for all of us. I mean, our team was usually in the bar every week.
Yeah,
You don't find that on Wednesdays.
Yeah, situation represented.
It's different Wednesday nights and having to drive back across the water than it is on a Saturday and you can chill for a little bit.
I appreciate you guys coming up and playing on Wednesday nights. It makes me feel good when people drive by other kickball leagues to come play in our league. It's,
You gotta go where the competition is.
yeah,
You have to.
that's right. So let's talk. Let's spend some time talking with you, Kearsten. Let's put you on the Coke Zero hot seat. I already gave you the introduction. Everyone knows who you are now. Tell us, how did you get into kickball? How long have you been playing?
I started in 2007 with my brother,
Okay.
Kyle Lewis. We had heard about a league and we were like, oh yeah, let's go try it. We got our ass kicked every week. We were those people that were like, this isn't bunk ball, this is kickball, you know, with everybody out there bunning. And we were like, that's not what this is.
Holy shit. You
We learned.
go in time.
But we learned real quick, and we went from finishing dead last to finishing second in the league the next season and doing the,
Was this a WAKA league?
yes, because we did the regional thing and had to play Tiki Titans.
Oh, okay.
We took them
Tiki
to
Titans.
7-4. They argued every single run we scored because we didn't know back then with the whole Founders Cup thing that the runs go against your seating and that sort of thing. So every run scored, they basically were pulling out rule books and we were doing keg stands. I'm not kidding, we had a keg at the field.
Who did you play with?
And my brother, Rich Starkey, was on the team back then.
Oh, Nick Starkey.
Starkey's on
Went to high school together, and he now works in it. It's
Yes,
the
he does.
IT guy. Dick Starkey and I go way back to about 1998.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. You think?
Oh, Lord. I
I
was going to say, Rich and I go way back, just through soccer. Way back. And the whole Starkey clan.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna
entire
say.
family.
No, we won't get into a conversation about the Starkeys.
We actually recruited Rich to come play with us. They had done like an all-star team at the end of the season, and it was like 2 people from each team were on this all-star team. Well, for our team, it was Kyle and I, and then Rich was there for his team. So he was like, "Hey, my team, can I play with you guys next season?" We were like, "Sure, come play with us," because we were friends and I played soccer with him already. So he came and played with us, but the rest were a bunch of my soccer friends and a bunch of firefighters, and that was our
Nice.
team.
Nice. So you broke in with the Tiki Titans, and
Then,
they are, against the Tiki Titans.
yes.
I remember that's because for you youngins who don't know any better, the Tiki Titans were like the situation
Yeah.
before. Like they just were a dynasty. They won every league they played in. Because I started in VA Shore back in 2005 is when I started playing, and I was like, we ran into those guys in the semis of a tournament. It was like our first year. Same situation where it's like, man, they're just beating the crap out of us unmerciful, like,
Yes.
without mercy. And yeah, they're good dudes though.
Oh no, we liked them. It was just intense.
Yeah. So, eventually they got old, and other teams came up and usurped them. So for you
Some of
guys
them
who
still
are like,
play.
yeah, some of them are around here and there, but for you guys who are like maybe discouraged, sometimes say, "Oh, we'll never be as good as a situation." Well, eventually they'll get old and they'll start sucking too. So, actually, no, you guys keep getting younger. What am I talking about?
That's not how time works, Brent.
No, they just replace the old people.
Have you seen Time Cop?
I've been replaced with younger.
Yeah, they just pick up those Adam Tatums. Game bombs.
Well, let me update my resume. I'm 24.
I am not. I wasn't even in my 20s when I started playing.
So how did you, from there, because you were on the Frosty Balls Founders Cup team, right?
Yes.
And that was 2008. So
Yes.
you started in 2007.
Played 2 seasons.
A year later, you're a national champion. That's crazy.
Well, yeah.
How did you make that transition?
We were playing on a Tuesday night league in Virginia Beach at City View Park, and it was still a team that I had been playing on. And we had just played Sal's team. And packed up and went to the car to go home, and Sal was sitting at my car. Said,
How did you know which
on the
car?
car, by the car,
don't know that.
like leaning
He was
against the hood,
standing,
smoking
like,
a
no,
cigarette.
the trunk. He was standing at my trunk. His stuff was basically on my trunk. He's like, "So, you gonna come play with me?"
So, little girl. Sorry.
And I said, "I'm not leaving my team." And he said, "I'm not asking you to leave your team. I would never do that. We play in this other league on Thursday nights." Now, this was a long time ago. Let's say
You
times
would
have
never
changed.
do that.
Let's say times have changed. I'm just saying back then.
You would always do that. I will always do that.
Now he asked me to play in a different league on a different night. And I was like, sure, why not? So I went and played, and to be honest, some of the people on that team were not very nice. If it weren't for Larry and Terry, I'd have never gone back after the first night. But they kept me going, and eventually it got better, and we were really good.
Yeah.
And that's fun to be a part of. So then the next league was coming up, and our team that we had been playing on was basically going to fold because we didn't have enough people coming back, or we were going to pick up a bunch of new people. And he said, "Well, what about Rich and your brother?" And I said, "Rich is easy." So I grabbed Rich and said, "You want to play?" And Rich said, "Yep, no problem." And then Kyle, we had to work on.
Really?
Kyle, yeah. And then Kyle eventually agreed to it. And 2 seasons later, we were headed to Founders Cup.
Whose apprehension? You just didn't want to take it that seriously?
That's exactly.
Because that's crazy.
It was too much.
Like, that
It
is
was too
wild
much.
to actually think about, because Kyle seems like he's pretty damn competitive.
Now,
Yeah.
back then we were playing it for fun. I mean,
Yeah.
we really were. We were going out, we were drinking, we were having a good time, and
Now it's for business.
yes, that is exactly what it is.
That's awesome.
So we pulled Kyle, and maybe it was that next season we qualified and we're headed to Vegas. And you don't know what kind of team you have till you get there. And like in pool play, we played the number 3 ranked team. We were ranked 26th when we won it. We played the number 3 ranked team and beat them like 2-0 or 3-0 in pool play. And it wasn't a very competitive game on their end. And I was like, "Oh, this could be a good day. We can see what happens." And then from there, we won.
Yeah, it was good.
Just a fun fact, because it's still like Dick Starkey. I played my very first kickball game with it, and it was kind of weird. You're rich, fine.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
always call him Richard.
Dick, and I remember I go out, and it was in like a rec league and for our high school like alumni. He was like, "Yeah, I played some kickball." He was like, "I won the," and I was like, "Oh, really?" Where? He's like, "Yeah, we went to the same Las Vegas, won the championship." And it, I can't do it. As only he can do it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, "So what do you do?" He's like, "Kind of trombone it down there or something." Do whatever you want to do, man. But anyway, so there's our kickball origin story connection. Sorry.
Well, it's just funny because everything connects in a way. Because I was out there. I mean, I played in 2005, like 2 seasons, and then I moved to Hampton and I stopped playing until they started VA Peninsula in 2007. So I started playing there, and I wanted to go to Vegas. We didn't have a team that qualified, so I just went out to ref. So I was out there reffing, and I saw you guys. I saw how competitive it was, and I was like, "Man, this is awesome." And some of the stuff that I saw was able to bring back to Peninsula and help propel me to
Where you are now?
the Wentworth Trophy
There you go.
before it was even called the Wentworth Trophy, right?
Yeah.
All connects. That's cool. And have you been to Vegas every year since then, or is it just wow?
I'm not proud of that.
So you, you like Vegas?
No, I don't like Vegas. Kyle and I were born in Vegas. So like it was exciting like the first year or two, but after you've done it, and it's not a trip I look forward to at all.
Are you going
At
again
all.
this year?
No,
Or too early to say.
yeah, I don't know.
So you guys haven't, and that Frosty Balls team kind of became, I think the nucleus, well, I don't know, it's changed a lot over the years.
I mean, after that tournament ended up with, you had the Blue Balls, which is McCoy's team, Panic, whatever you want to
Yeah,
refer to
Make
them
It
as. You had
Rain,
Blue
all that.
Balls, Make It Rain, Panic, all that.
Yeah.
And then we turned from Frosty Balls to, you know,
The situation.
One Life at one
Oh,
point,
One
One
Life.
Life Kickers, and then
Right.
Situation, I think, from there. And people just,
Good for you.
everybody's got an idea of like who's gonna be the best and how to pull the best talent and how to do this and how to do that. And you need young guys that, you know what, it may not always work. So you go with what you have to do. And so people went where they needed to go and other people did, and from there, everybody breaks up.
So what would you say is the, so fast forwarding to present day, obviously you talked about all the success that you've had, the situations had. What's the winning formula? What sets the situation just a step apart? I mean, there's a lot of talented players, there's a lot of talented teams. People do step up, like Beastman stepped up and gave you guys a hell of a challenge, but you guys are always just one step ahead in most cases. What's the secret? How?
There's
How
not,
you?
now you have to write it down. There's no secret. It's about,
That's not
I know, sorry. I think it's honestly, it comes down to who steps up at that point in time. There's always someone different that steps up or picks someone else up or does that. And that makes a difference on a team all the way around. It's not the same people picking each other up. It's when someone else steps up and does something that makes a difference.
Like when I backstopped you through those 3 games in
Yep.
the regional.
You got it. Made all the
I
difference in
stepped
the
up
world.
big.
All the difference in the world.
I know exactly what you're saying. Secret, safe.
in the lockbox.
You'll never get this unless you.
And next.
So with your background in sports, we like to ask that question before kickball. You mentioned you have a bunch of soccer players. Is that where your background is, or what other sports did you play growing
Soccer,
up?
field hockey.
Soccer. I know from experience because we were on the same indoor soccer team just this past season. I had no idea that you were a great soccer player, but you are.
Well, thank you.
So, I can see how that translates well to kickball.
High school, college.
Oh, good those.
You were a great soccer player too, Brett. Oh, thanks.
Brent, when they
You
did
didn't
double
have to say
and triple
that.
team to you,
Yeah, man. They were shutting me down, man. I had to deal with
we had to
no
like
one
change the
triple
game
teams.
plan.
Yeah.
We had to do all of that.
I showed him a little bit too much. She scored a goal, and then all of a sudden,
I know.
all
It was
in.
like after that, they wanted, it was like, screw everybody else, we're gonna mark that guy.
And my teammates couldn't pick up the slack.
And we're sorry. We apologize.
It was fun.
I think it's funny where you get into the debate of who's better translating over to kickball between soccer and baseball.
Right.
Because in my opinion, if you don't know sports, you're not gonna, it doesn't matter which one.
You know,
It doesn't matter if you play baseball if you can't bound a ball.
Right.
You know, good, you can throw and you know how to run bases. And if you played soccer, you may not know how to run bases or catch a ball.
Yeah, I will
depending on
say
what's going
if
on.
you've played soccer, you do not know. Like, it's not even if. Right.
But if you know sports, then
Most soccer players don't know sports, though. They just know soccer.
that is so not true.
There are a lot of like you can tell when the soccer guys were on the base. It's like this guy has no idea where he's going.
That'd be Eric on our team.
Yeah.
Where you gotta hold them. No, you can't go yet. Tag up. Soccer obviously makes easier for bunny, in my opinion, because it's a pass of the soccer ball and that's it.
Yeah, the soccer players get the foot skills quicker. Yeah, there are differences between kicking a soccer ball and kickball, of course. You know,
But it's
pitch
still
coming
the
up.
same motion.
Still the same motion. They pick that up easier. The baseball guys get the mental stuff a little bit quicker. You know, base running. You know, once they figure out how fast a kickball is thrown, they figure out all that mental stuff too. So
The toughness from field hockey. I got a lot of respect for field hockey players. Watch some people play.
I feel like it's much more intense now than it was when I played.
I've never actually seen a field hockey game.
It's crazy. It's in the Olympics. You should watch it.
I had a friend who coached it, so I went out and seen it.
It's intense.
It's yeah. I mean,
And giving women a bunch of sticks is not a good idea. I mean, let's just get real.
boy.
the like corner kick sort of thing, where like
Short corner?
yeah, they're in the goal and people are running in. I was like, that's nuts.
Yes.
It's like a scene from Braveheart, and everyone's wearing kilts and charging at each other.
That's
awesome.
true. With sticks in their hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's switch gears and talk about the hustle a little bit.
Wardrobe change.
It's actually, you just came directly from a hustle practice, actually.
Yes.
You guys are preparing for, I guess for Friday nights, but really more importantly for the money tournaments that you guys travel to. How did this team come about? Like, what's the origin of the hustle? And
Origin of Hustle is all Manny.
man,
All Manny. Manny orchestrated a team for a tournament up in DC that was played on the softball field. So it was played on the infield.
Mhm.
And Manny said, hey, grabbed a bunch of girls and said, I'm going to be up here for this co-ed tournament. Why don't you guys come up the next day and let's play a women's? I think we had 2 practices before we went and we lost in the finals.
nice.
Had a pretty good day.
Well, I mean, so many talented women that
In this
play
area?
here. Yeah,
Yes.
just amazing. The cornucopia of female kickball players to choose from. So once you got through the DC, then you guys, I guess, there's been more women's events across the country recently. You guys say, hey, let's keep this group together and go do some.
I think
Some
once that other league decided that they were going to run women's tournaments, we all had the bug from the first tournament, and we were like, yeah, we need to do this. Let's do this. We have a good enough team. We can keep going. And so that started and getting people together and pulling people and, hey, do you want to play? To make sure you have enough people and to go and perform well at most of the tournaments that we were in last year. And then in the national championship, losing in the semifinals. That's where my heart is now. It's definitely in women's. That's why I'm done with the traveling with the co-ed. But women's is picking up, and it's awesome to be a part of.
So how is you're a co-captain, a coach of the team? How's that experience? What have you found to be the most challenging part of?
It's women.
Okay, that's
women.
what I was gonna kind of
We
lead
have
into the
mood
sexist
swings,
joke,
we
but you know, you
people
beat the
with
punch.
Egos. We have emotional people, and you have to manage all that. I said it all last season. I put up with way more shit than any guy would ever put up with.
No, you pretty much just described being a co-captain of Hammerheads too. So, I was saying, emotions, egos, putting up with a lot of shit. No, I love Hammerheads. Just kidding. I do. So
Cinnamon's not shared at this table.
you don't love the Hammerheads? All right.
Stupid eyes on the side of their head. Can't even see where they're going. So dumb. Let's get back to our guest.
Okay. So,
Go ahead.
what's the next question?
What's your question?
I don't know.
How'd you guys make the decision to? You know what? If you hesitate, I jump right in there. How'd you guys decide to? What was the thought process around putting the team into Freedom on Friday nights, competing against co-ed?
Most of the girls are already committed to leagues or were committed to that league. A lot of them were. It's really difficult with moms and students and that sort of thing to coordinate a consistent practice schedule.
Yep.
So if people were going to be there playing anyway on a co-ed team, we as well play together and
Right.
get our practice in at that time. And that's how that came about.
You guys, you know, so even if the purpose is just to practice together, you guys had some pretty good success your first season. What was your record? Did you guys finish with a winning record? Or close to it?
I didn't play the first season. I played the second season.
That's right, because this would be your third season. Well, both seasons you had, I think, winning records are around 500.
500.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm gonna say it. A lot of that goes to telling the girls, make the throw. Even if you don't have it, make the throw, because this is your practice. Against a woman, if you're missing a guy by a step, you're getting a girl out. So make your throw and get your reps in. And you know, if you give up runs in the process, you give up runs in the process. But at some point, you have to make it about practice. It's not about the winning percentage.
Right.
So you apply the Lord Admiral Nelson touch.
Yes.
You empower your people
Yes.
to go out and King James.
More Nelson, I like that.
Yeah.
Admiral.
Yeah. When will Trafalgar come? Questions. All right, so guys have some pretty like standard go-to insults for one another. I like to give Brent a hearty "fuck you, man." You know, that's pretty standard.
I like
Get sick. But what's just the worst thing that can be said at a women's tournament? I'm imagining I don't hear all the exchanges out on the field. Like, and you know,
It's a good question.
I'm not saying you're the one who said it.
I mean, recently there was the ref that told the girls that they needed to take their shirts off and wipe the refs down. So you have your sexist comments.
That's-
Then you have
The ref said that?
yep. Then you have your go fuck yourself.
No. The ref said that too?
No, those are people to each other. We're not mean to each other.
Is it a kinder, gentler game?
It is.
I could see it going either
It's-
way.
it's,
Like,
you know what? It depends on who you're playing. It does.
easy, man.
And you need to know.
Whoa, pump the brakes.
That's the thing with women, though. You can't say stuff like that. You can't say. I mean, they'll go cry. You can't say stuff. They're all emotional. So they'll cry or they'll fight you. It's going to be one or the other.
Heard that.
You just have to keep it moving.
I had a good question. I forgot.
You had tryouts.
We did have.
So,
Yeah.
you've gone from just having enough people do it to having tryouts.
You have to have tryouts when you know that people that are talented are approaching you. And you know that there are people that you've maybe eyed in the past and been like, oh, they'd be a good addition here, or they'd be a good addition like this, and a good addition like that. I mean, I think we ran with like 29, 30 came out between the two tryouts, and we kept 22. And not everybody, you have to keep in mind, you have moms and students, and not everybody has the same finances and can travel to every tournament. So you have to make a conscious decision based off of that and off of the scores, and went from there.
There was a lot of, just from talking with some girls who were on the team, you know, even ones that probably really shouldn't have been worried too. There were some, I guess, some anxiety about the tryouts too. You know, I guess that goes into the other question where you said you have to kind of deal with egos. How did you, you know, did people come to you with concerns and say, or?
About tryouts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Your best bet is to come to both tryouts, because if you have a really bad tryout, your second one is to redeem yourself. If you think you had a phenomenal first tryout and don't want to come to the second tryout, don't, but that's your risk.
Did you carry a clipboard and just
My
like,
judges did. I had 3 judges.
Did you guys ever take my suggestion and videoing it and
No.
watching it later? Oh, man.
why didn't we get out there for a combine like experience? Like, then you could have had tape.
It was, everybody knew when it was posted.
We could have prepared them
We had-
for sexist refs just by standing up, pretending to
Yes,
be
you could
professional.
have. We had 3 judges.
Hey,
We
let
did
them
scores.
tease out.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we would be in character because we wouldn't do that ourselves personally. We would only do that to try and get them better under, because that's obviously the conditions you guys play in. So you gotta try.
Obviously.
It's just like a sexual harassment environment. Like,
Well,
no one's gonna play.
The ref told him to wipe down the other people. I don't know. I thought the tryouts was a good idea.
You
And I
know,
think that's gonna.
and the thing is we got people out there who've never played before that made the team. That that were just like, oh, okay, let's go see what this is about.
Never
And-
played kickball before? Woo!
and they're good.
Mm.
So, you know, it led to a lot of new experience and a lot of new people on the team that are
Yeah, was the
gonna
girl
benefit.
you guys had pitching the practice?
Erin.
Erin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she playing Friday nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked pretty good.
She's the former senior keeper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's on point.
Who did you cut just because you hate him?
I don't cut anyone because I hate them. You have to take personal out of it.
His results. Baby.
So who'd you keep that you hate?
Well, that's a conversation for off that camera.
I-
Just kidding, ladies.
I thought it was a good idea. And I think it will be what kind of, yeah, obviously you've had success. You made the semifinals of the national championship. You made finals of other tournaments. I think it's one of those things that meritocracy, you know, it will help push you guys further and really determine, hey, you're committed. You made this team. You had to work for it. So
I think the other part of it too is, like I said, when it goes back to coaching, being a female, coaching females, like there's other coaches around the country that just pick and choose who they want and they get rid of people. And I'm female. I don't have the heart to do it that way. I'd rather make it as fair and legit as I can and have stats to back it up so that if I get questioned, I can say, these are your numbers. This is who was in front of you. This is where you were. And we can just keep it moving from there.
Yeah, if only teams would cut and keep people based on stats. I'd probably still have a really nice blue jersey I could wear around.
I know, man. There was one stat that I kept that I based it on. Vagina or penis? That's a stat, right?
I wish my penis wasn't so small.
I mean, hey, that's a tough decision. That's one of the toughest decisions as a captain, and tough to communicate, especially when it's someone that you actually no, it wasn't 785. I'll pull it up. I don't think I don't got it on this computer. I'll find
And
out
note
the
that
stat.
you missed one of my kicks on against the Meatballs available team at DC that you never fixed. I managed to take a discussion with Kearsten here about the ladies kickball team and
I want to know if that
all
was really
the-
your percentage.
I went there too. Spreadsheet voting. Microsoft Excel 2010 starting. What's your name? Johnson?
Oh, that's horseshit. I think it was
Yeah, you
before the
bullshit.
last. No, wait.
That is not what you said it was.
Yeah, you said 700 something, man. You were 567.
You have.
God damn, man, that was horrible in 2013.
Let's also note that keep it last.
Which means
It's a
what?
percentage, man. You had 27 at bats.
Hold on.
I'll let you know I kicked last.
You were above D-bomb.
Dude, you had the fourth most at bats on the team.
For kicking last, not bad.
You kicked last.
True.
I can't. Oh, I was so bad. That's because I was 255 pounds. 30 minutes.
Do you want to know what you kicked?
Just
No, not really.
I see your name.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it.
The last one.
Yeah, we didn't do well offensively. But we beat
We-
OSC.
This is we got a turkey time.
Any more questions for Kearsten?
Yes, I did. But you got me off track.
Your lies got you off track. Act like I couldn't
I'm-
call you, Kearsten. You call my bluff.
Anyway, I'll get back to
I
this
called your
spreadsheet.
bluff.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna pull your card. Alright. Let's go tournament by tournament.
No, we're not going to tournament. We'll do that after. We got to wrap it up.
Did you include Raptor in there?
Wrap it up.
Anyway, not a very good question.
That
Then
would,
not good if you don't remember.
Raptor wouldn't have helped your stats.
No. It would have helped if it was bad. You don't understand how stats work. How can we trust your spreadsheet then? You know whose spreadsheet I do trust? Matt Wellbrock's right there.
Matt Wilbrock, what? You're lucky I wasn't taking a sip of this Coke Zero. I would have sprayed it everywhere. So what are the goals for this year? What are your expectations for the hustle?
My expectations are to win. We're ranked 2 in the country, and we have the pieces. It's a matter of putting it all together. Atlanta is 2 weeks, and we'll be a week and a half. We'll be the first test.
2 weeks from now, right?
So a week and a half from here now, yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
that'll be the first test.
Well, I gotta say, the other cool thing about the hustle is that it really feels like you all are our team. Like, you know, everyone, you know, got the VA hustle shirts. Like, it's not just you got a lot of support within the community. And
Our
I think everyone's been rooting
fans
for you guys.
are amazing. Walking across in DC, having to walk across the fields to the other set of fields, and you have a line of like 60 deep carrying our tents and our coolers and everything. And I stood there and took a picture. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. We didn't stay too long. We did.
Okay.
That probably helps actually. But because Dottie and I swung by the fields, we had stuff to do back at home, so we couldn't stay too long. Plus, it was like 150
Yeah, you did.
degrees. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
But I mean, just the atmosphere. It was like everyone's chanting and cheering, and it was like being at a soccer game.
Who's your nemesis? Female teams. Who would you just love to have beaten?
DMV, the ones that won it all. We've only played them once. We lost them 4-3 in pool play in DC.
Those are girls from Maryland,
We lost them 4-3 in pool play. It's the only time we faced them. We beat.
and they won the national
They won.
championship.
They won 3 tournaments last year, and we didn't win any.
They're good.
They are good. They're beautiful. Everyone's
For sure.
beautiful.
For sure. What stands out for the hustle, and this is what I noticed playing you guys on Friday nights, is that there's a certain level of discipline and fundamental, like everyone's moving on every play, you know, and it's backing everyone up and just smart. So I think that's a testament to you and your coaching, certainly.
It takes a while to get there.
I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, a lot
It
of
takes a while to
practice,
get there.
but it's going to pay off, for sure.
I hope so.
So
That's the plan.
I think unless, George, you have another question, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're 9:20, 23 after the hour.
Can I thank everyone for the
Oh, damn it, that was yes. Please. Yeah, please talk about your brother. I meant to bring that up.
Okay, so as Kyle's texting me, I have no idea what this means. Okay, on behalf of my brother Kyle, we just want to thank everyone for all their support and the donations and the prayers and the words of encouragement and everything that's come our way. He's definitely on the road to recovery. He's got a long recovery ahead. Bacterial meningitis is no joke. He had some good days and some really terrible days. He was in the hospital for almost 3 weeks and got transferred from one hospital to another to be able to deal with everything that was going on. But he got his PICC line out Monday. He had a good report from the ENT yesterday. He's still out of work for a while, but we just appreciate everybody's support.
Yeah, no, it's something that, yeah, obviously we spent, I should have brought that up, but I meant to, I didn't, you might know,
He sent a text
preparation.
that said, "Fuck you."
But it's funny that you mentioned that because we talked all about this tournament and like all these games and stuff like that. But really, when it comes down to the kickball at the core of it is about that, right? I mean, we're all kind of a community. We're in this together, and it was really, yeah. I posted on the group a couple weeks ago after Jeremy started the fundraiser for Kyle and Molly that it's like it really made me feel good. Like I put in a lot of hours, a lot of work, and you know, I don't question it too often as far as like, how do I do this? But, you know, sometimes it's nice to have it validated where you say, wow, we raised thousands of dollars for some, friend in need. Yeah, we've raised thousands of dollars for other charities, and just I'm proud to be involved with this and fortunate. So.
I think it's also one of those, like when I look around and go, okay, like who do I go out with on the weekends, or who am I hanging out with? At some point, they played kickball with me. At some point, they have. And it's, I can say I retire all day long. My friendships are there, that's what you want to go do. That's where you want to be. That's who you want to hang out with. And it's just a testament to the people that we've met and been around through this league that as much money has been raised as it has.
I'm really glad that, that we could help support that. It wasn't just us, it was kickballs across the country.
Yes.
But more importantly, I'm just glad to hear that Kyle's doing better. It was good to see him out on Saturday. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But,
It was nice to see him out there.
Yeah, it was good to see him out there, and I can't wait to see him out on the field Wednesday nights. I was going to play with him, but he won't be at the tournament, so I got to chase that one more trophy with cardiac arrest. All right. Well, 3 up, 3 down. We may have found a permanent co-host.
I don't think so, but thanks.
Matt is fired. No?
It was before Virginia Beach where I went 1 for 6.
Thank you guys.
Oh my
If we're done with like the,
Thank you guys for
I'm
watching.
not being rude by saying it now.
Check out this
Recalculated.
new though.
So I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
I was just kicked off the page before the Virginia Beach results were in.
Didn't I say I was on one
It's
life?
cancer.
Didn't I say I was on one life after Frosty Boss?
One
I was
more
like,
kickers.
you didn't know you were on OOK after Frosty. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
you said that.
How dare you not remember a kickball team you were on 8 years ago?
But you know one thing
Must
I
have
can
been
tell
more
you?
audio
One thing I
problems.
can tell you? The captain's never changed.
Let me plug my
It's
shiz.
never changed.
That's even more reason not to remember the name.
Sign up
Exactly.
for
I still got this big black guy leading me. What's the issue?
spring kickball, Wednesday nights in Hampton, Friday nights in Yorktown, Monday nights, brand new, Virginia Beach. Sign up for those things. We got a couple of one-day events, the WAKA Mid-Atlantic Regional in May, Memorial Day weekend. Teams from all over the East Coast will be coming playing for cash money and bragging rights and partying, all that stuff. We got the WAKA Varsity Classic. We're local high school alumni. We'll be competing for bragging rights, raising money for Relay for Life. If you're from out of state or your school isn't playing, sorry, this event's not for you. I gotta say that. I gotta say that every time. Because people say, okay, what about out of staters? No.
After tonight's conversation,
Come
we gotta get the Starkeys on the phone and we can put together a pretty.
Garrett plays too.
Oh, I play
Garrett still plays
basketball,
out there.
Garrett. Oh, wait, he plays kickball?
Out in some league in Suffolk.
All right, yeah. Play
That's
basketball
formation
together.
of a little thing going on here.
I get all 27 Starkeys in there.
It's only 7.
Speaking of WAKA Kicks Cancer, we got the shirts for sale too. They got Brandon Silver's logo on there. It's
It's Brandon's face.
It's just my face.
I would buy that shirt actually.
Nice. That's
That might
Challenge
actually-
accepted.
It might be more successful fundraising. But yeah, that's available. All this stuff is on the Facebook page, so you can find it if you search hard enough.
I'm selling signed prints of the 2013 Spring Wentworth Trophy champions.
I would buy that too if I wasn't in the hole with Matt for another $934. So, all right, we're
No
gonna
interest
close.
this week.
We're gonna close for real one.
All right.
Thank you guys for
Oh,
watching.
we're-
Kirsten, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
It was a
having me.
pleasure.
Now let's talk about everyone we don't like.
Sign it off.
I thought it was